Hi, so I was in a conversation recently with a business owner whose website I've supplied, and I said to them, listen, you need to be updating your website with new content regularly, otherwise Google will just say, oh look, the website's not updated in a long time, they might not even be in business, let's stop bringing them up in the search results. So when somebody searches for that business, or rather that business's sector, let's say, in this case it was a driving instructor, so if they search for driving lessons Bolton, they might not come up. So I was speaking with this business owner about it, and he said, well, the problem is we don't really have anything to write about. We might be able to update the prices now and again and maybe say something about being closed over Christmas, but that's it. So this made me realise that things that are dead obvious to me perhaps aren't as obvious to other people. So on your website you've got two kinds of content. You've got pages, and those pages are things that tend not to change very often, such as your opening hours, finding us, about us, contact us. Maybe your products pages and prices might not change very often. Your privacy policy and your terms and conditions, things like that might not change very often. But what you need to do is continually add new content. Okay, so those go as blog posts. If your website doesn't have a blog, then you probably need to get one, because blogs and their posts and blog posts have really helpful elements to them. For example, let's say for this driving school, let's say the driving school wants to do regular posts weekly. Okay, what do they write about? Well, firstly, what season are we in? Currently, right now, it's winter. The roads might be getting a bit icy, so they could do a quick blog post, which is a bit like a diary entry. And when they go in the blog post section, they'll kind of stack on top of each other as diary entries. But each individual blog post is a page in itself that you can link to and you can share. And your customers can share, more importantly. So it's winter, so they might write a blog post about driving in the snow, in the icy conditions, and they might do a blog post about things you should keep in your car when it's snowy, for example. Another blog post might be about just the importance of clearing the snow off your roof when you're driving, because I think it was either last year or the year before, there was a big thing going around saying people are getting on-the-spot fines by the police. If you don't know why that is because the snow melts underneath, and if you stop at the lights it'll slide down onto your windscreen and you can't clear it, you might have an accident. So that's why the importance of blog posts like that, so you can learn things like that. So they may then find it quite hard to post weekly or every couple of weeks. But really every couple of weeks is as long as you should leave it. In an ideal world, you want to be posting daily even to your blog. Reason for this is each blog post is a page in itself that lives under the category of the blog, but each of them can be shared by people. So they might share it with their friends on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else like that. They might email it to somebody saying, just found this article on, I don't know, how to save money on your car insurance. I don't know, whatever's appropriate. So some blog posts, like articles, they're kind of a bit like articles, will be more helpful to some people than others, which is why the more you write them, the more helpful they are. But they're also like having, say, imagine you're fishing and you're in a fishing boat and you've got one fishing rod with one line out into the water. Well, you're only going to potentially catch one fish. But if you have multiple rods, all with lines into the water, these are different entry points. You know, these are the same as having lots of different web pages or blog posts out there on different topics where you might come up in people's search results. There's also other benefits, like a web page or a website that's full of content usually gets ranked higher than a website that's 1 or 2 pages long. I say usually, not always. You know, people will link back to helpful things. So the more posts you have, the more pages you have, the more helpful stuff you will have out there that people can link back to. Okay, so let's say you're in this position where you don't know what to write about. Let's go to Google now. So we'll just go to the search engine, and we're going to use a different example. So let's say you run a martial arts school. I don't have a martial arts school on my books at the moment, so that's not going to affect any of my customers. So you go to Google and you type martial arts. Okay, so there you're going to find all different kinds of things that are really kind of not very specific. Okay, but if we click on search tools, this little drop down comes down and we can change it from the web to pages from the UK, so that will bring back results that are just things from the UK. But this is interesting. This anytime you can change it to the past 24 hours. So this is just stuff that's been found by Google, which means it's probably very new, that's just been put up in the last 24 hours. You can also, in martial arts, and then on more, click blogs. Now this will only return blogs relating to the term that you've just typed. So that's one way. You can go see what other people are typing. Now if you then change that, the search tools, if you change that to look the past 10 minutes, past hour, past 24 hours, let's put the past 10 minutes. We can see 3 minutes ago somebody posted on movementmartialarts.com. And this is to do with martial arts practice, postures and pain. So you may find something there that you can link to. You know, if somebody's written a great article, no need to rewrite it or rip it off. Just write a brief article and reference that one. Say, listen, I've just come across this. Here are my thoughts. Here's a link to it. Then get in touch with that person. They might give you a link back. Or what you can do is you can do a weekly breakdown of your favourite blog posts that you found. Just find some, write a big old article, or just a few words even, about each one, and link to them. That's an easy way of doing it. Now let's say you're too lazy to do your own little searches to find stuff. What you can do, if you type into Google search Google Alerts, now this is a huge tip that I don't want to go unnoticed. So it's google.com/alerts. This is so simple. You can type in a search query, for example, your name or a competitor's name or a topic, and then you can say what types of results you want. So it can maybe only send you videos or blog posts or news or discussions. We can leave it at everything. How often they will send it to you, and your email address. Okay, and what that will do is every time they find stuff, depending on the frequency that you've set, they will get all that stuff together and email it to you, a digest. They will email to you a digest, and you can have a look through that, and there's loads of great stuff. So let's say, I don't know, you're in catering, or you're a consultant to do with health and safety at work. You may find that if you type in health and safety, all these things can come up. You may find that you're getting lots of good nuggets before anyone else, about new laws, new best practices, new ideas, new techniques. If you put a little newsletter together, people may subscribe to that. But you can, send out links to all of this stuff on your blog. So this is great content that's coming from nowhere. Now another great way to find content is if you go to Twitter, which is at twitter.com. So you may find that when you're in Twitter, you can go into the top, there's search, you can type health and safety, and in the search results you'll see all people talking about health and safety. You can just dig around and see what people are talking about. That is a great place to look. Okay, so it's not just about the latest stuff that's happened in your business. It's not about changes of times or anything like that. And it has to be stuff that your target market will be interested in. That is a key point that I do want to get across. So it's not, so for example, if you're a printer, I was having this conversation today. If you are a printer and you just keep posting about print jobs, boring. Printing techniques, boring. About special offers you've got, boring. People may want to save money now and again, but they don't want to listen to that all the time. So what you want to do, for example, if you're a printer, is talk about printed materials that are working for people. So what's working well, what's not working, unusual ideas for print jobs, And then just other things. Okay, who gets printing done? Who's your demographic? Well, it might be small businesses. So small business marketing tips, or things that small business owners will be interested in. Any laws that may be applicable to them. Anything your accountant has told you that may interest them. Anything like that. So it's not all about you. It's not about your business. It's about what will your audience be interested in. I'm not making this video about me. I'm making it about a topic that should interest you, and that is why I've made it. So I hope that was helpful, and get writing some content. Cheers.